Hey, Nathan.
Hey.
How's it going?
Yeah, good.
Thanks for being my only friend left.
Yeah, we're losing them.
Dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We even lost Better Dylan.
Yeah, right?
He was he was so cool.
I like the fact that he knew when to talk and when not to.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. He's a bit of a showboat normally, so. Yeah. So welcome back to No More Popcorn. It's just you and me tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because we care about each other and watching movies around this holiday season.
We care about Christmas too.
We care about Christmas. Yeah. Patrick, he could have been here.
Yeah, he could have.
He just straight up said he's bah humbug. I hate Christmas. And we were like, dude, come on, we got to do one holiday movie, together as a group. And he's like,
Besides
no.
the one we already did.
Did we do a Christmas one?
Black Christmas?
Oh, yeah, we did Black Christmas.
But we did it, like, right around Thanksgiving, so it was kind of...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. All right, anyway, yeah, so tonight we decided to take a trip back in time to 1980, and we watched Christmas Evil. Yeah. Louis Jackson? We watched Christmas Evil by a director.
I finally remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Christmas Evil.
Yeah. So basically the quick plot for this one is you've got a kid who experiences mommy fucking Santa Claus under the Christmas tree, and then he becomes completely delusional and decides to go on a killing rampage as Santa.
Yeah, that's my issue with this movie right off the bat. And
Okay.
Now wait, let's not say issue in the sense that Patrick uses the word issue. I
don't like the way the carpet matched the walls.
And this scene is awesome. I love it. Santa comes. They're watching Santa put out he's eating the cookies or whatever, and there's this weird like transition to where it's like, was it really Santa or was it their dad? Because the kids are arguing about it later. The two brothers.
Yeah, we're start off on a staircase. It's the mom and the two kids, and they're having this like holiday miracle moment.
And he actually comes down the chimney.
Yes, you see Santa boom, flop down the chimney, and he comes out to this fucking awesome like Shoney's type spread. I'm just kidding. It looks a lot better than Shoney's. Although I do love Shoney's. I retract that statement. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, he's got like a little bowl to dip his fingers in and everything to get them clean, and then a loaf of bread. A whole loaf of bread. Anyway, yes. So
he looks at him. He's like,
yeah. He taps his nose.
Ever see an old guy do this at you? Look out.
Yeah. Some crazy shit's about to happen. So they're watching this happen, and then the transition that you're talking about, it's very strange because it cuts back to like all of a sudden Santa's gone and everything's gone. The family's not on the stairs anymore, and it just cuts to a scene with the two little boys, Philly and Harry, in bed, and and they're debating, that was Santa Claus. No, it wasn't, you fucking idiot. That was Dad. Yeah.
And then we have our main character. Which one is Philly and which is Harry? Who's our main character?
Okay, so Harry is the main character.
Harry's okay.
Yeah. Philly,
older brother.
Yeah, Philly is the younger brother.
And the older brother is the one that believes in Santa.
Correct.
So he comes down the stairs, and we get
he gets an eyeful, don't he?
The weirdest scene. And well, this is where I talk about my issue with it. But let's describe it first. We've got their mom standing there in kind of like her little, what do you call it, negligee? Is that?
Sure. I was going to say her skibbies.
Well,
you're a lot more proper
She's
about it.
She's got like the, not like full on lingerie. I mean, kind of, but it's nothing skimpy. But
right.
But she's got like the stockings.
Yes.
And you have Santa on his knees in front of her, just sort of like sniffing.
Fucking smelling her, dude. Yeah.
But he's not going anywhere. He just kind of... And she's like kind of moaning. and he just sort of like rubs her thighs, but
Yeah.
they just stand there and do that
awkwardly for a long time. And
doesn't go anywhere.
yeah, so Harry's watching all this shit because all he wants to do is prove his brother wrong. You know, he's like, that ain't fucking dad. Then he goes down and sees all this shit happening, so he runs back up to his bedroom.
That's it. Like,
Yeah.
but it's just this is my issue. Like, if he came down and Santa was like face fucking his mom, I would get being traumatized and going crazy, you know, and just being a fucking weirdo the rest of your life. But it's literally Santa's like,
Yeah. I'm just wondering what that actor said, because it kind of makes you want to think, like, was she like, I won't get naked, you know? And the director's like, oh, okay, I got to rewrite, you know? And then she's like, I'll let him sniff me. He's like, fuck, okay, if that's the best we can do.
yeah, he's like, well, can we suggest no?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Could we do this kind of thing? No, we can't. Okay, I guess you just sort of maybe a little thigh for a second.
Yeah,
you know,
it truly is extremely awkward. Yeah, it's awkward, uncomfortable. So, I guess after that, it's just we fast forward into Harry's life at this point.
Him
right?
waking up dressed in
that's right.
Santa,
He wakes up as Santa.
pajamas, singing. He wakes up smiling, humming or singing Christmas songs,
stretching, like doing the what do you call those? Obviously, I don't really work out.
Calisthenics.
Calisthenics.
He's counting down the days to Christmas.
Yeah, which at the beginning it's 55. Okay, so just to show this dude lives every single day for like how much closer it is to Christmas. So yeah, at that point we're basically just getting. We're getting a picture painted for us about this dude's life. So he is clearly obsessed with Christmas. He puts on his little shaving cream beard, is getting really excited and everything, and does a bunch of, he's trying out his laughs and trying to make his costume for Christmas with the padding and the cloth and everything. He makes all this shit his own. We then find out that he works for a plant, like a manufacturing plant for Christmas toys.
Yeah, he's like a manager at the toy factory. He's moved up to management.
Yeah, he used to work on the line making the toys, which he's very passionate about. But now he's a top dollar fucking tie and collar businessman. Fucking yuppie. But no, he hates it, and everyone at his job hates him.
Yeah, he's the dork. He's the nerd that nobody likes him. Everybody makes fun of him. They fuck with him. They just sort of laugh at the shit he says.
This is the second week in a row that we've had a movie based around this. It's depressing.
Yeah.
Seasonal depression. Necromantic and evil. Christmas evil.
Yeah, almost exactly the same movie. You could. How did we do it 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, right. So you've got this one dude, kind of where we start seeing like how this guy is treated. Is his coworker Frank, I think was his name, comes up. He's like, "Hey man, why don't you cover for me? Tonight I got to go on vacation. I want to leave early and blah blah blah." And
I know you miss getting your hands on the toys.
Yeah, that's how he tries to reel him in. Like, I know you want to do this, and so in the midst of this too, Harry's eating a fucking sandwich. His Frank guy, while he's trying to get him to cover his shift, he's like, "Hey man, let me try it," and reaches in and grabs the guy's sandwich. So anyway, we can go into detail on this all day, but he's a pushover, and I do think it did make me kind of sad for the guy. I think it was written really well, where you actually do feel sympathy for this poor fuck, even though he's weird as shit.
Yeah,
it's like, oh man, sad guy. Yeah, so he's leaving work. He's walking up to a bar and like looking through windows and stuff, and he sees his coworker in there explaining to the other guys that they work with, like, "Yeah, I had that schmuck Harry fucking cover for me," So he gets even more sad, and then just goes home.
Yeah, he like does he like flips out. So then what does he do?
He just starts running. He just like runs across the fucking street frantically. Like anytime this guy's running, it's just this weird jerky kind of emotion. I don't know.
At one point, and also he goes and looks through the window of his brother's house, who's now grown up,
That's right.
has a kind of a hot wife and a couple kids of his own, and he watches them have sex on the sofa after the kids are gone. I'm sure he was thinking about his mom the whole time too.
I was gonna say something, but I guess we'll wait. We'll keep going in order with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, the guy's lonely. He doesn't really have anybody. You hear his brother discussing with his wife, like, what does he say? He's like, God, he's just so lame and shit. and his wife's like, could you please just treat him nice, please?
Yeah.
Just. He's like, it's hard to treat him nice when he sucks so bad. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. So yeah, the next day is Thanksgiving, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, I mean, it goes to Thanksgiving, and he always comes over, but he can't. He wants to stay home and watch the parade, and Santa's at the parade this year, and I think that's when he makes his Santa suit, right? Is it on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, he starts making it then,
Yeah.
and at this point too, we've already established that he creeps on all the children in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
Via binoculars.
How did we forget that?
And he's looking through the windows of like the houses around him, and you think at first it's gonna kind of take like what is creepy, but you think it's gonna take like an extra creepy turn.
You feel like it's gonna. Now that's the thing. I mean, ultimately, you think his thing with the children was completely innocent. But it does make you think like, oh, this guy's a fucking pedophile.
Right, yeah.
It does make you think that, but actually, no, he really did. He wanted everyone to have the same Christmas spirit that he had.
Yes, very well said.
His twisted version of what that means.
Yeah,
right?
he's making his list of who's naughty and who's nice. And apparently, if you pick your nose...
That's right.
Or look at pornography...
Have bad breath.
Yeah, bad hygiene.
Don't want that. Bad hygiene.
I'm sorry, negative hygiene.
He saw the kid he cut out a penthouse centerfold, and he wrote down bad hygiene.
Yeah.
Negative hygiene.
The only day, right? He actually got pissed. He's looking through the binoculars. He sees that. He runs inside, grabs his books.
Yeah, he actually has these huge books. It says like good or bad.
Yeah, good or bad girls, and yeah.
And he's got the kids' names. And I was thinking that too. How did he get all these kids' names? He's got their full names, and he's got notes on each one. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, before Christmas is coming up, he's like rehearsing what present he's going to give each of them.
Yes, yeah.
And, and then we see him going and he steals a bunch of presents from his job. Mm-hmm. But then he also goes and gets a sack and he fills it with dirt to give to the one bad kid.
Yeah, the one
which I thought he was going to murder. I thought he was going to murder that kid.
Yeah,
I was hoping.
Yeah, so let's talk about this one just because it's totally worth discussing. It makes no sense to me. He goes to the kid's house. This is one of the naughty kids, and he's the kid is arguing with his mom. His mom's like, "Come on, we gotta go, and pick up your toys and all the and all this stuff." The kid's just being a fucking kid. He doesn't want to go do whatever the hell they're doing. So they start to get in the car, and the whole time Harry's outside of the house, is looking through the window. He reaches down behind these bushes and picks up mud and dirt, rubs it all over his face, and then just walks up to the side of the house and just plants his hands in his face on it and backs away and looks at it like,
I did it.
Good. I did it.
Yeah.
And then he hides behind the bush, and the kid comes out. He's with the mom. They're trying to get in the fucking car, and the kid
scares the kid.
Scares the kid. Like, I couldn't tell. The kid said, "Oh, he's telling his mom, there's someone in the bushes." She doesn't believe him, because whatever, kids say stupid shit. But it shows a scene where Harry's still hiding behind the bushes, waiting for them to leave, and the kid's over there trying to, investigate, see what's going on. And I thought he was like trying to punch him. Like Harry's hand comes out like this. And the kid's like, he tried to grab me. I'm like, I think he tried to sucker punch you, dude. Like,
no, I think it did look like he went like that.
Oh, did he? Okay.
I think he just kind of he snatched really fast.
Okay.
Like he was acting like he was gonna grab him, but I couldn't tell if it was just he was actually trying to grab him or he was just trying to scare him. But
sure.
I mean, the guy was. I'd like to point out. Do you remember his name, the actor?
No, but let's go ahead.
We should. We should give him props because This guy was great.
He was really good.
Genuinely great at acting just like a crazy loser.
Sure, yeah.
You know.
Brandon Maggart is how I'm going to say to pronounce it. I'm not really sure, but yeah, and his acting creds there's like nothing really, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a Brothers, Christmas Evil, The World According to Garp, which I know that one, but that's about it. Aside from that, it just looks like really super. Yeah.
Yeah,
we were both saying like at one point I think I looked at you, I'm like, I gotta say, like, is it just me or is he actually doing really well? And I was glad to hear you agreed with me.
Yeah, at that point when he's like, he finally is getting dressed up as Santa.
Oh, he's like gluing the beard to his face.
He gets the glue on his face, and he finally gets the beard on. He's like tugging on it, and he's like crying. He's like, "This is me. This is me." He's like shaking and crying and just acting crazy. It was awesome. Yeah, it was really good.
I did love it. Yeah, I mean, the acting as a whole in this one was pretty good, I think. Which, I mean, not even to go in depth on you find out all their names and stuff, but there are people in this you will recognize. Like we recognize somebody from one of the Ernest movies. Recognized a guy from Ace Ventura and a bunch of other stuff, Scarface and shit. But yeah, there's some people in here.
I like that you said Ace Ventura before Scarface. I agree with that.
I was about to say, do you actually want to know my honest opinion? I know Scarface is a classic, and I do get it. I think it's a great movie, but I would honestly rather watch Ace Ventura than Scarface.
I've actually never watched Scarface.
Yeah,
I love Ace Ventura. I mean, when I was a kid, Ace Ventura was like.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
definitely.
I don't know. I mean, you can make some time for Scarface, I guess.
I should watch it at some point.
It's just one of those to say that you have.
Right.
I think.
I know there's Godfather either. It's like, it's these movies that Citizen Kane. I haven't seen that.
No,
either.
I've never seen Citizen Kane.
Maybe we'll get together and watch Citizen Kane. People do say. I mean, they actually say the blank of Citizen Kane or the.
Yeah, right.
Like
insinuating that
it's the Citizen Kane of video games.
Yeah. Like that is the movie of all movies.
It's the Citizen Kane of podcast. I don't know, whatever.
Well, I'm sure it's good. I don't know if it's going to be like quite as good as like Land Before Time 5.
Yeah.
No.
Or even like Troll 2.
Or Troll 2. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a crazy killer Santa Claus.
Yeah, so let's go for a while I was thinking like, is he even going to go full on murder? Is he going to get to that? Because
for the longest time it's literally just you just see him just kind of derailing.
He's just running around like he's giving presents he actually breaks into the kids' houses and he's putting presents under trees and shit.
It has a charming side to it.
Yeah,
it
and
really
I was
does,
kind of thinking it was going to be like, well, he's doing this innocent stuff. I mean, he's breaking into people's houses. He's going to get caught up and get in trouble, and then things are going to go bad. Is kind of what you know what I mean. But no, we do get to a point where he goes to this church where they're having a church service, and actually he made this toy soldier that he cast himself.
He was making toys at his apartment with molds and shit.
He melted it into the mold and everything, and he's got a spike, a bayonet kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so he's standing at the bottom of the steps, and church gets out, and these people come down, and these guys. Did you recognize the two guys that he killed? Like that's what I was.
No, they were. Unless you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay. I was about to say I didn't recognize them. I just took that scene as they were just.
Wrong place, wrong time, and they fucked with him.
Because they were poking at him.
They were
making fun of him and everything. And just completely out of nowhere, it is.
Which was weird. It didn't make sense.
Yes, it's a very bizarre scene because you got a whole congregation coming out of church, and then all of a sudden there's two assholes in the middle like, hey, look at this fuck.
It's like he was outside of a frat house. Not
yes,
a church
exactly.
Christmas Eve. Yeah. So these two guys keep fucking with him. He's dressed as Santa. He's got his sack over his shoulder, and he takes that toy soldier and just sticks it in the dude's eye.
In the eye, yeah.
You see his eye pop, and then he's got like a little hatchet.
Yeah.
He pulls out, and he whacks the other dude, and then he whacks one of the women that's with him, and then jumps in his van that he had painted.
Yeah, he's got the sleigh on the
up.
side of the
Yeah.
van. That's important to point out.
So that's where it starts spiraling really into his what the fuck what am I doing kind of madness of
Right.
it's Christmas, and I'm and he's like talking, he's on Donner on Dash.
Yeah, anytime
doing
he's
that
behind the
shit.
wheel, it makes the whipping sound.
Yeah,
He'll do like this, like on Dasher, on.
And he's just like sweating. His face is
Yes,
red. And he's
yeah.
he, like lights flashing by his face, and he's the Christmas cheer, and he goes and there was this whole thing about the job he works for. They were gonna donate some presents to this children's hospital, and he's like, well, how many presents? He's like, I don't fucking know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's just
like,
good PR.
None of them care about
Yeah.
Christmas as much or to the degree that he does. So he wants to make sure that these kids are treated well. That it's. Ooh,
This is after he'd killed those people too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of.
He goes.
It's weird because I was about to say like it's actually really well done. But I'm thinking in my head, is it technically like really poorly done? Because you're kind of wondering the whole time, like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Because this whole time we're just feeling sympathy for him. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, he's just crazy. He's just crazy.
He goes to the hospital. He gives a bunch of presents to the kids, and
After an encounter with a very reluctant security guard,
like an 80-year-old Barney Fife.
man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Who are you?
He's got his gun.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, he gives them all the toys that he stole from his work.
Yeah.
And then Jesus Christ, where are we?
So
now?
we've got the guy that tricked him into working his shift and was making fun of him.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
He
right.
goes to
Okay.
his house
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Tries to get down the chimney, gets stuck.
Okay. Here's my thing with that. Now I do have to point this out, and I'm not. You don't nitpick the fuck out of movies like this. You just don't do it. Okay, here's why I'm bringing it up. There are a few things in this movie that I think make it drag out a little bit long. It's not a terrible runtime. It's like an hour and 40 minutes, but this really was like what would you say, like pushing like 7 minutes or so scene of like him like climbing this ladder, going on the roof.
Yeah, he's like.
But now that I'm talking about it, I do realize the effectiveness of it because once again, it's something that he's fucking failing at.
Failing at his he's probably spent his whole life thinking about going down the chimney.
Yeah, he's
right?
like, I'm gonna go down that motherfucking chimney.
Right, yeah, like
So he can't fit. He gets up this ladder onto the roof of his coworker Frank's house, and he's trying to get in the chimney, and he's like fucking struggling with it, and his belt buckle's getting in the way, and it's really rather moving now that we talk about it. Yeah, because he can't, and he has to come back down.
he's like all dejected.
Yeah.
He's about to leave, but he's like, "Oh, look, there's just like all these windows going into the basement."
Yeah, he
I'll
found a way
just-
in on the
I'll
basement.
just go into that. That'll be easy.
Now he did. So he gets in the house and he's leaving presents for the kid. We don't know whose house this is quite yet. We just think he's
Yeah.
delivering presents. So he's putting presents under the tree, and the kids see him. And he's like, and all that good shit. And then he walks down the hallway and into their bedroom. And this is where we realize, like, oh, it's Frank. And Frank had some of his sandwich still hanging out. I was kidding, but it's Frank and his wife in bed. And he says something to Frank. I can't remember what. It wasn't really.
Did he say something about his tune? Did he say that to him?
Oh yeah, so he has a tune he's trying to figure out. That may have been it.
This is like, I feel like this whole tune thing was like somebody, I don't know if it was a writer or director, thought this sounded like really profound and cool because he's like,
Really deep.
yeah, he's like, everybody has their tune. They all know the tune, but I found it now. I found my tune.
Mm-hmm.
I found the tune. I understand it now. And the guy even says to him, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh,
He says
God,
it to the guy at
yes.
the party. It was so funny.
Best line in
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
This is we'll get right back on beat, but yeah, so they're at the company Christmas party, and Harry is losing his shit. He's still calm natured at this point, but he's losing his shit. He's talking to a coworker about how he has or to that.
Found the melody.
Yeah, he's like, I found it, you know, and everyone's gonna love it, and it's my tune. I know it now, and the great part about it is just like that pause. You know, it's like, Harry, I gotta tell you, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know, and it's just, oh God, I love.
He calls his brother on the phone and says the same thing, and his brother's like, what are you talking? What do you mean?
I love when little moments like that happen. Oh God.
So he might have said that to him, or
Yeah.
maybe he said some other shit, but it was something like he gave him a little speech. You know, he gave him the pre-murder speech.
Yeah, and then he took his sack of toys and smothered him, or tried to.
Yeah, it was tried to.
Yeah, this was death by Christmas tree star.
Yeah, he's like trying to smother him, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you got a Christmas tree in your bedroom? Okay, that's weird, but whatever." He reaches up, the guy jumps up, and he cuts him across the throat.
Which I thought was cool because I thought initially they were going to go for, you know, which eye stabs are always awesome, but I was like, oh, don't do 2 in a row. You know what I mean? So I thought it was really cool slitting his throat. The other funny part about this scene, though, is so Frank's throat is slit. He falls onto his wife.
Yeah,
You know?
the gash is like, it's right in front of her face.
Yeah, and here's his wife. Yeah, there's not even any noise. She's just
Making
doing
like little like squawking.
Oh, really? See, I couldn't even hear that. I was like, did they just not want to edit in a scream or something like that?
I felt like they had.
It was like she was so shocked she couldn't make it.
Well, it was like try to act scared, and they went through multiple takes, and that's all she could do was. They were just
Like,
okay,
great,
fine,
Sally.
Fine, that's yeah, okay, yeah, we'll go with it. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. Let's
Yeah, right. Yeah. Time's a ticking. Time is money.
Once he starts to run away, she screams like, you know, you can hear her down the hall. Of course, you see the kids come out, and they're all just like, "Hey, Santa," you know, and he's got his wild flipping. He's flipping out at this point for real, and
Yeah.
it's the mouth of Christmas madness.
Is that a John Carpenter reference?
I guess sort of. Yeah.
I've never actually watched. I started to watch in the Mouth of Madness or whatever the hell it's called. It's got
Into the Mouth of Madness.
yeah. I never finished it though. It's got Sam Neill in it.
We need to watch it.
Yeah, it was another insane asylum movie. Anyway, so yeah, you kind of want to start wrapping it like a Christmas present. We'll put it in a fine little fucking package, and we'll give you.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's we'll just
Oh, there's more stuff to discuss.
jump to
Yeah.
We jump to the end. He's running from the police. They know they know they're looking for a guy dressed as Santa, so they're arresting all these Santa Clauses all over town.
Yeah, those mug shots.
Yeah.
That scene was pretty funny. They've got like a whole scene of all these Santas coming in to do the lineup, and that's pretty funny.
Yeah, and he goes into one neighborhood, and what the fuck he was doing?
Oh
there?
yeah, okay.
He
So we
crashed his van, and
yeah, we got to talk about that. Well, he kind of just parks it, and then he God, what was it he was doing?
he gets stuck.
Yeah, he got stuck, but I didn't think we knew he was. There's the townsfolk. Okay, I just remembered. So he's outside of a building, and these kids come out, and he's talking to the kids, and then their parents are behind them, and everyone in town knows now, like, hey, look out for Santa Claus because he's gonna fucking kill you. So Harry is talking to all the kids and getting them reeled in and everything, and the parents are like, you know, get away from our children, but they're not willing to do anything. One fucking RoboCop of a dad decides he wants to stand up and play Rambo, and
RoboCop of a dad is gonna stand up and
play Rambo. Man, dude, we need a RoboCop and Rambo movie.
Dude, he wouldn't have taken a single step. I mean, he would have been dead before he knew it if that had been.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know, like they're dead.
Rest in
Yeah, rest in peace.
Stallone could kick off any day. You never know.
All right. Yeah, we called it.
That's right.
All right. So the dad decides that he wants to play hero. Long story short, Harry gets a hold of a blade that the dad has and just kind of,
I thought at this point, okay, a kid might get killed, but
Yeah, because all the kids are like against their parents. They're like, "Oh, don't hurt Santa," And at one point, even the little girl is like going up to her dad, holding the knife, like like, "Don't hurt him," like, "No, Daddy, no."
So yeah, he basically he just runs away. He gets away.
Yes, yeah.
Dad falls down. He runs off, and at this point, they just all light these huge torches. Like,
yeah,
this is like this movie. There were times when it felt almost like more of a serious kind of movie to me.
Oh, for sure.
Like, especially starting out, you're like,
yeah.
It's like it's well put together. It's it's about this guy. He's lost his mind. He's down on his luck. He gets made fun of it, and then you have this scene where you have Santa running down the street, and then you have just all of a sudden you have like 24 people running down the street with torches chasing him.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't work. I mean, if you're trying to have
goofy
fun, you know what I mean, it works. But
I feel like this movie wasn't.
It wasn't totally set up for that.
Yeah.
Like aside from the scene where Santa's sniffing mommy.
But I feel like they thought that was like supposed to be sexy. I don't think.
Oh, I think they thought it was supposed
They
to be,
didn't think that was like. They thought that was like, ooh, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think it was supposed to come across as creepy and sort of sexually weird, and it did. It just you and I interpret things like that differently. Like, Santa's sniffing mommy. It's funny. But yeah, so no, you're totally correct because this is not set up like a comedy at all. And then at the end, it just turns batshit fucking nuts for like the last 10 minutes, and I really do mean that, not batshit nuts like it's a bloodbath or anything. It's just like, what? Like you said, the townsfolk yielding torches, running through the streets.
I was looking for a pitchfork. Thankfully, there wasn't. Thankfully, only torches.
I hope the director's watching this. He's like, fuck!
Yeah, right.
That's what I forgot. And we might get a remake,
Yeah, and you're talking about it going crazy. The last scene, the very last shot.
Literally the last shot.
It's like, it's that sort of, I mean, it's not quite Dead Alive amount of ridiculous, crazy turn at the end, but...
Oh, well, we can't forget one little important detail. So he shows up at his brother's house, and his brother and him have a confrontation. And, he's like, the brother's saying this, like, "You're not going to blame me for your mistakes anymore." And he's choking him, and artfully done so. If you look on the staircase, the wife is sitting there looking through, like, what do you call these things, like on a staircase? Like the rungs?
Yeah, rungs.
She's like looking through the rung, just like they was looking through the rungs when they were kids.
Yeah,
right, little callback.
Then he choked his brother the way Santa choked his mom.
So brother kills
I thought he had killed him.
I did too, actually.
Yeah. But he chokes him and he passes out and he just dumps him back in his van.
Brings him out to the van, sitting in the passenger seat or in the driver's seat.
That's when he goes on his crazy last drive.
The last drive, man. You take it.
His brother runs out. Harry, no, Harry, and his wife's like, and the kids are looking through the window, and he takes off, and maybe even hears sirens, like police coming. Maybe I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but we do see the torches again.
Yeah, the torches. That's what it is. Torches, torches coming, and he just like he does a swerve and he goes through a safety rail and just he's like, and his van just. It starts going straight. It's not falling. You're thinking, okay, that's going to take a nosedive and turn to a fireball at the end. And it just starts going straight. And then he looks at the moon, and it like his van takes like a left turn, and it's like going like out toward the moon, up into the sky.
He is now Santa Claus, and his van is his sleigh.
Yeah. Do you think that they intended like for him to become Santa, or is this just? He actually did die, and they just thought, we won't actually show him plunging to his death. Here's just a funny, like, here's what he's imagining is happening is he's flying away as Santa.
That's interesting. I took it just very face value. I took it as just a very strange ending to a very pretty cool movie. I didn't really look into any kind of. It could be. It could be. I think it was supposed.
I mean, I would like to.
I don't know.
I would like to think that the director said, no, he really did know the meaning of Christmas. He knew what it meant to be Santa, so he turned into Santa and flew away. But what I think it really was I would like that to happen. But what I think it really was that's just in his mind, and he crashed down and died.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you would think so, right?
I mean, well, I guess I have
to know.
I have to ask you,
I
like,
wonder if there's commentary.
do you believe in Santa Claus? Don't be ashamed.
I remember believing in Santa Claus.
No, I do too.
I can remember we lived in this when I was like 5-6 years old, around there. We lived in this long single wide trailer, and I was at the very end of the house, way at the back, and my parents were at the very other end, and the living room was on this side. And I can remember, and I've always been a night owl ever since I was a little kid. I would always stay up all night. I just wouldn't sleep. So I can remember laying there on Christmas Eve, just awake all night, listening for Santa, thinking I could catch him and then like sneak out and try to see him.
Yeah.
And then I remember asking my dad, I was like, is Santa real? I want to know, because I was kind of suspicious of it, but I still, I want to see what he said, because I trusted whatever he said. And he would always go, what do you think? Every single time he'd go, what do you think? It's like, I don't know. Maybe he's real. Yeah, I believe in Santa. All that to say yes.
I also remember, it's kind of a sad story.
Always, it's a sad movie.
So I'm in school. It's probably, let me see here. It was either 3rd or 4th grade. And a bunch of kids at school were starting to talk about how they had found out that Santa wasn't real. This is real, by the way. This isn't a bit. So I go home because I'm upset and I'm pissed. I'm a little confused, So I walk into my mom's room and she's in there doing ironing. And I was like, is Santa real? And she was so hesitant, man. She didn't want to say it, but she looked at me, she said no, and she just burst into tears, which of course made me burst into tears.
No.
And then it was a very upsetting day. I felt betrayed and lied to.
Why did she say no and then start crying? Like, why did she
Because it was like, to her,
like it was time.
It was like, God damn it, my little boy's growing up, and yeah. But then I seen him later on in life.
See,
fucking my wife underneath the Christmas tree. I wish I still believed in Santa.
Yeah,
I do. That was a very fun time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you wake up.
Christmas used to be. Yeah, it was
very magical.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, now it's just like a hassle.
Yeah.
It's.
Whoa. Sorry, my cat's crying outside.
Really
okay, we needed a distraction anyway. This derailed.
Yeah.
This
like Ghost of Christmas Past.
Literally. Our parents are dead. God, that's terrible.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
I didn't even put that together.
All right. So, yes. So, Christmas Evil.
Scores.
I really enjoyed this one. It drags a little bit, but I think it has I love the mixture of like the serious tone and then just kind of like the crazy fucking ramp it takes there at the end. I would say realistically, I'm going to go with like a 3.5, a very plus side of 3.5. I almost want to give it 4. But I'll stick with 3.5 just because, like I said, it drags a little bit from time to time. It's one of those that I feel like you're kind of, Shit, I don't know. I need to think more about this one. But I'm going to go with 3.5. I love the fucking main guy. He did a great job at acting it. You felt sorry for him. You know, sure, there were a few laughs along the way that may or may not have been intentional, but either way, it didn't take me out of the movie. I do, at the end of the day, kind of feel sorry for the character, even with him being insane and going on killing sprees and stuff. I think it's really well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah, so 3.5.
Yeah, the thing about this is, you know, there's a few of these Christmas horror movies out there. I feel like this one really does Christmas. I mean, he's running around as Santa the whole time.
Yeah, it's not like there's not much gimmick to this. Well, is that the right word I'm looking for? Like, you know, like Krampus is like, oh, it's a holiday movie, but it's
well, they say it is, but then it's not actually anything about it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like even Black Christmas just happens to happen
around Christmas,
but it's
right?
Not, there's really, you just have one scene where the girl's at the mall and the guy's being Santa, and she's just like getting drunk. I mean, there's nothing actually about Christmas with it. This one actually. It is about Santa. It's about a guy that loves Christmas. It revolves around his childhood with Christmas. Mm-hmm. So I actually I would bump this up to, just because of how well it actually incorporates Christmas into a kind of Christmas horror. I would go with a 4.5 on this.
Nice, very nice.
If I would almost go 5. It does. I think it is a little too long. Mm-hmm. It just needs to be. And also, if you notice, like, the kill scenes and some of the action, like when they're kind of fighting with the knife and the kids and that dude out there, it's like they did one take and it didn't really, like, they had to edit out some mistake. Like, it looked kind of weird the way it was chopped up.
Sure.
The way, like, he would suddenly be running and then he'd be stopped and be looking over. It just looked weird.
Right.
So,
well, like you said, just choppy.
Yeah, some of it was maybe they ran out of time. It just didn't look like it was as well done as it could have been. It's like with the kill scenes and the fight and stuff. But
sure.
But yeah, and it also went long. So, but I would go. Yeah, I think I'll go 4.5.
Nice.
Just, you know, all the things I've said. So
no, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great one. I really would recommend watching this one. It's. I feel like it's kind of overshadowed. You know, like I was telling you before we started this review tonight, you know, I had this idea. I really wanted to do Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, just because I hadn't really seen a whole lot, as far as review-wise, online. I'm sure there is, you know, but I just hadn't came across any. And I was like, oh, that'd be a good idea. And I had never got around to seeing it. And then, you know, I was joking around with you earlier, like, yesterday, I guess technically, Joe Bob Briggs did a review of that movie. Red Letter Media did a review of that movie. I'm like, well, fuck, okay, I gotta kind of switch course. But anyway, I'm glad I did, because it made me remember this gem, which I had only seen once, and I was kind of in and out of sleep. This was a way more fun viewing experience today. You know, last time I seen it, like I said, I was sort of in and out. Like, I remember in particular waking up at the end and seeing that happen. I'm like laying there in my, you know, groggy state, like, what is happening? Is that a van flying into the moon?
Yeah, you don't want that to be one of your main.
Yeah.
If you see that and miss half of it, you're just like, what?
Yeah. So no, I'm definitely glad this happened. I'm definitely glad that Patrick's not here. You know, what was his name? Schmillen or Willen, or I don't know. Either it's been a goddamn pleasure.
Yeah,
Nathan,
we're just sort of like kind of trimming the weeds.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to get an apartment of my own.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, Rachel. I love you.
Yeah.
I say that like she watches these. She doesn't watch these.
She's like, go do your little thing with your little movies.
She used to watch them with us.
Yeah.
She got all sleepy.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to watch, sit down and watch a Christmas horror movie, I recommend definitely watch it around Christmas. Definitely, you know, don't do it any other time, you know.
Are you being Patrick?
No. I'm saying, like, I'm saying it goes with the Christmas theme so well that you definitely should watch it during the Christmas season.
I agree.
You know what I mean? That's all. I don't get why you laughed right now. You know, I would say like that. I mean, that van he was driving, I don't know how it could really go that fast. I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
we could reach the speeds to really get liftoff and
Right.
fly all the way to every home in the night. How could you do that in one night? Get to every good Christian home in one night? I don't think that's possible.
Especially with the color. Did you see that color?
Yeah, it wasn't even.
This is like a. Everyone knows that color is not aerodynamic.
It was like a kind of a off beige, kind of a dirty beige color. I was just like, what? I mean, if I had a Christmas van, it would definitely be red and green. And it would have lights on it. Yeah.
Merry Christmas!